Hello, my name is Jason, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Um, Today, I'd like to talk about the child that I've talked about in my videos that killed himself about a year ago. One of the big problems I have is the school saw firsthand things that were going on and didn't report it, didn't do anything about it, just let it happen. Now, as a child, he was a good-hearted kid. He was a very good kid, but he had a father who was abusive and was never around. His father was one who thought that, got to spend all my life making $1 million and going out traveling the country and even the world, racing cars and not taking my family. It was not a family thing. He did it all for himself. It was a childish, selfish endeavor. I don't get parents who have kids and don't want to be parents. I really don't get it. I want to be a parent more than anything, and my kids keep getting taken away from me out of false accusations that I can prove are wrong. The court systems don't care when you're a man. Doesn't matter what you can prove in court. It's just a matter of what genitalia is between your legs. I'll tell you a few things that took place in the school that the school at least had knowledge of things that were going on and didn't do anything about it. There was a day of parent-teacher conferences. And this is something else I'm going to talk a little bit more about here later, hopefully, if I remember. My brain has been scattered, and I've been really struggling emotionally and physically and everything. It's been really difficult. So during parent-teacher conferences, the kid was in band, played saxophone. Dad went in for parent-teacher conferences, and as they opened the door, and I don't even know how this is even possible in a school and how it's not set up so that this is not even possible to happen. But behind the door, there's a shelf and a coat rack, and up on the top shelf were musical instruments. As they opened the door, they hit the musical instruments. They fell off the shelf. It hit the boy in the head. He was actually bleeding. It hit him hard enough that he was bleeding, and he started crying. His dad started yelling at him, telling him he's not allowed to cry, and made him do push-ups in front of his peers, in front of his teacher, in high school. That's not right to a child. That's embarrassing. It's demeaning. That isn't how you treat a kid. I mean, if a kid just got hit in the head hard enough to bleed, you take care of that kid. You care for that kid. You don't put him down. You don't demean him. You don't embarrass him. But did school do anything about it? Well, it wasn't but a short time after that, in class one day, that same kid went through and started smashing instruments. Breaking band instruments. I know, because I'm the one who had to fix those instruments so that his mom and dad didn't have to pay for them. And I fixed all of them, and not a single penny came out of their parents' pockets to pay for those to be repaired. Mom was in tears, dad's mad, and mom's mad. The whole world seems to be angry. Nobody can handle anything. That's part of the problem. We became such a feel-good world that anything that doesn't feel good, we don't know how to handle it anymore, do we? So then even after the kid went through and the teacher saw the demeaning acts that the father did to the child, which is child abuse, I'm sorry, I don't care. You don't have to hit a child for it to be child abuse. You don't demean a child in front of his peers, in front of his teacher, embarrass him, and while he's sitting there hurting on top of it all. You just triple whammied that kid. Or the reports of father beating the kid with a boat oar, or any of the other neglectful things and abusive things the father did. Or the fact that those children have been to the police station and filed reports against mother's abuse against them children. Father filing complaints of abuse from the mentally and verbally and physical abuse against the mother, which again I have documented because I recounted what happened in our house and I was there to watch it and witness it and record it firsthand. But if you're a woman, nobody wants evidence. We don't care about that. We don't care about the children. We don't care about the victims who are losing their minds and are possibly going to jump off the ledge. And we'll just keep victimizing that person. That's what they're doing to me right now. And I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to do this in hopes to get help before I snap. Because if I snap, it's going to be all over. So even after all the things, I mean, the kid, not much later after that, they have tablets in schools that they use nowadays instead of books. The kid smashed and broke his tablet and then hid it and lied to everybody. The school's going through cameras trying to find who stole his tablet, his school tablet. They're threatening to bill mom and dad for the tablet. Kid can't do his schoolwork. Well, no, come to find out he had another violent outrage, smashed it and broke his tablet, and then hid it and lied to everybody. This is in high school, and nobody did a thing about it. Let's just get the kid a new tablet, move on. We don't want to deal with it. Well, maybe if you did deal with it, which is your job to do, maybe that kid would still be alive today. Maybe if you would have seen, and I mean, you saw it, you can't say you didn't see it, but maybe if you would have stepped up and did something about the acts that you did see happening right in front of you in the very, 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 very few times and time limit you got to spend just between those kids and parents. And you didn't do nothing. And now that kid's dead. He killed himself. Because he didn't have anybody to turn to. Not a mother, not a father. He quit coming to our house because he was sick of the abuse his mom was doing to us. His sister's going to the police department, filing charges against mom and filing reports against mom for the abuse she's doing to her. But then what both of these parents do, both of them, they both have money, so they think you buy your kids out. We pay, we pay, we pay. Look, we gave you stuff, we gave you stuff. I mean, those two kids alone had everything in the world any possible kid could ever want, had done everything. I mean, extravagant vacations, flying airplanes, jumping out of airplanes, all the toys and every entertaining thing they could ever possibly imaginably want. They were spoiled rotten. But does that stuff, is that what's the stuff, the money, is that what saved the mentality of that child? Obviously not. Didn't save the mentality of his sister, who was out at 16 years old having promiscuous sex with overage men who had just gotten out of prison, very, very bad men, out doing drugs with these people. And she didn't have anybody to turn to but me. That's why I'm the one who knows about these things. And it can be proven because obviously phone records are documented. You can go back in the text messages. I read the last one that guy said to her. This last text message, and I'm going to abbreviate this to keep it clean, was "Thanks for the pee, B." You don't talk to a little girl that way. But again, a man who can violate a little girl physically, what does he have to do to not violate her mentally, right? Verbally, all of it. And what's that going to do to her life? And is she is going to continue following those same paths just like her mother did. Just like her mother did. And I can't say anything beyond that because I don't know. But I do know, just between those three generations, that they've all acted exactly the same. They have all treated each other exactly the same, and then they coddle each other in fear of their mental illness and the abuse and everything else. And it's pretty much all they have because they don't have anybody else. Nobody else will deal with it. Even my kid's mom's mom, her kids won't even talk to her, refuse to talk to her, and are very verbal about it. The only reason my kid's mom still talks to her mom is because she needs her. She needs her to protect her. She's told me this stuff outright. I'm trying to save my kids. I can't get it off my mind. Back to the story I'm here to talk about. So the school had plenty of signs. I mean, these are things that I just know about. What don't I know about that took place that they could have seen? I mean, I know about that kid fighting with other kids and starting fights with other kids and acting out very, very poorly. That's not even the right word to use. I mean, the kids smashing musical instruments, smashing electronic equipment, fighting with other kids, dad's embarrassing, demeaning, abusing that child in school, reports of mom abusing that child outside of school, and nobody did a thing. Why? I want to know why. Why did you not do anything? That kid was not in counseling. He was not getting any help. Nobody was helping that kid one bit, and he had nowhere to turn. They did not have, even the parents did not have that boy in counseling. We just keep buying him stuff because that's what makes him happy, right? I can tell you right now, I've got so much stuff I don't even know what to do with, and I am miserable. My house practically looks like a warehouse of stuff right now, and I am absolutely miserable. I can't even even look at half the stuff and even open the boxes because I don't even want to do it without my kids. Everything I do in life, I want to do with my kids. Everything. And if I can't do it with my kids, then that means I shouldn't be doing it. That's the way I live life. Yeah, I smoke pot, and I don't do that with my kids. I sneak off for 2 to 3 minutes and take 3 or 4 puffs, 2 puffs. Don't sit there and smoke like Cheech and Chong and see how many brain cells I can fry. I just take a couple puffs and relax. It really does not affect me mentally. It doesn't make me stupid. Unless I smoke like Cheech and Chong, then I'll get stupid. But I know better. I've been there. Don't want to be stupid. I just want a little calm and relax. It's much better than all the slew of medications doctors have tried shoving down my throat that made me sick, made me feel drunk, made me discombobulated, unable to move, and what it was doing to me overall physically, and the physical damage I have from doctors and their neglect and the medications that they were giving me. So I want to know, why did the school not do anything about it? Why do they just want to sugarcoat everything and brush it all underneath the rug? And, oh, everything was great here. We don't know what happened. Yes, you do. You lied about it. Straight, outright lied about it. Again, I totally get. You don't speak ill of the dead. And you don't speak ill of a dead child. But you speak the truth. I am sick of this disillusional world where we just feel good and we just have to make everything feel good, but yet we can't handle anything. We sit here and watch all this tragedy taking place because nobody's stepping up and doing their job. Nobody. And I've had it. I am a father who's willing to give my life for my kids. And I pray to God it doesn't come down to it, but if it does, you're going to see right here. That's why part of why I'm doing this is to document exactly every step of the way that I am trying to do before it gets to that point. And if it does get to that point, you will know why. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to sweep them under the rug like everybody else is doing. These are my kids, and nothing means more to me in my world, in my life, than my children, than my rights and my freedoms that have all been trampled on wrongfully, illegally, and I'm here to stand up and fight against it. I've had enough. I will not take any more. I am one of the nicest guys in the world. Like I was talking to my counselor this morning, but I'm a swinger. And I'm not a swinger in the sense that most people would take that term as. I'm a swinger where I either love you or I will hate you and ruin your life. I don't like being put in a position to be on the opposite end of the spectrum of happiness. But that's where I'm being put again and again in my life, and destroying my entire life has been destroyed over this. My children's lives have been destroyed over this, and I've had it. I'm not taking it anymore. I don't care if I live or die anymore. I will stand up and fight against this. And in the end, if these people don't do what they're supposed to do, the whole world's going to know it. And they're going to know why right here. I've had enough. So I want to know, why did that school not step up and do anything for that child when they watched it firsthand right inside their school? Why did they not step up and do anything for that kid? Instead, we'll just say everything was great. That kid was happy. He was a fun kid. Everything was great. No, it wasn't. You had it all right there in front of you. You guys spent almost a week searching cameras, talking to students, investigating what happened to that tablet, to find out that the kid actually smashed it, hit it, and lied to you. You watched the kids smash musical instruments in the classroom. You watched the dad abuse that child. If you went any further and actually did your investigation right and did anything you were supposed to do, you would have also known that there were police reports filed against mother for the abuse and neglect. And then if anybody stood up and did their job, they'd see that both these parents have a complete documented history, especially the mother. I can prove a complete documented history of mental illness, psych wards, mental institutes, abuse, physical, mental, verbal, to men. Every husband she has had prior to me, including me, to every child she has had. I can prove it all, and don't nobody want to hear it. Well, you're going to be forced to hear it if you don't step up and do your job and hear it. That's what I'm here to do. So I want to know, why did that school not step up and do anything about it? Why did they watch the abuse and the neglect that kid took? Why did they watch that kid act out in anger and rage and still did nothing about it? And if they had, that boy might still be with us today. So I want to edit this in here real quick too. I forgot to add this in my initial video that I just made. I know of at least 7 kids right now, 7, that have all been reported to authorities that are in very, very dangerous and abusive situations. Even in the school, these children, there's been meetings called to bring officials in to talk about the problems with these students, and nobody's stepping up and doing anything about it. What I was told by one of the professionals involved in one of these cases anyways, that she sat in on the meeting, and when it was reported about drugs, I mean severe drugs, methamphetamine, heavy drugs, meth, guns, loaded guns sitting out in the open, leaning up against the walls throughout a house, and a minor child who is in 2nd grade. It has also been reported this kid's misconduct in school, the mother not being able to ever get the kid to school on time. But the person whose job it is to investigate, from what I was told, is too scared to go to that house and investigate. Then why are you in that position? Because that's what your job is to do, isn't it? That kid shoots somebody. Somebody shoots that kid. I've already reported what I've seen firsthand as far as physical violence taking place from drug addicts in this house. But they're too scared. But then when something happens, we're going to sugarcoat everything, and we don't know what happened. Bullshit. I'm calling it right now. Bullshit. You do know what happened. Because it's been reported to you. So out of 7 kids right now that it's been reported about meth, drugs, severe drugs, out in the open, left on tables for children to access. Minor, young children. Child abuse. You've already heard me talk about some of it on my recordings. Go back and watch my video about should a murder suspect's husband be allowed to ransack a murder scene. That was child abuse. You don't leave an 8-month-old child in a black pickup truck on an 85-degree day in the sunshine with the windows rolled all the way up for 6 hours, 7 hours. Never check on that kid, never feed that kid, never change his diaper, never give him anything to drink. And then after hours and hours and hours, and I finally realized that kid was in the car, and Dad comes out and says, I'm not a parent, I'm a soldier, I kill people. But yet he still has them children. That man has shot guns, blown out windows in that house, which have been reported with the children, 5 children in that house. And nobody's done a thing about it. Those kids are still there. Those guns are still there. And that messed up dad is still there. I am not just pro-dad, I'm pro-right. I'm pro stand up for everything that is right. But unfortunately, I'm a dad who's been trampled on, and I'm here to talk an awful lot about dad's rights. And in the end, it has done nothing but devastate my children. And even one dead. And still nobody doing a damn thing. Nothing. Actually, they are. They're attacking me still. That's actually what's going on. Because she's got money and she can continue attacking me. Nope. I'm not putting up with it no more. These people are getting it. I'm not keeping my mouth shut. I'm not standing back being quiet no more. I'm laying it all out, and I'm doing this right here. And in the end, everybody is going to know exactly why whatever takes place took place. So I wanted to add this edit in here. I know of at least 7 children right now that has been reported severe dangerous situations. Meth, guns, violence, all have been reported. But our authorities don't want to do anything about it. Supposedly the person in charge who's supposed to go and investigate this is too scared to do their job. Get the hell out of it. Why are you there? That's not your job. That's not where you belong. It's not what you should be doing. Put somebody in that job who actually has the balls to step up and do their job and protect these children, protect our citizens. Or we'll just keep watching our world go down the toilet and wonder why.